For Gemini, I hope you guys are doing well. I want to go ahead and get into your reading for February 2020. I will get started. Show me energy present for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of February 2020, please. Show me energy for Gemini. So you have the Page of Pentacles with the King of Swords here. So this is basically the potentials in regard to offers, small offers, business ventures, different things. It may be having to be looked over a bit more, having to be evaluated a bit more. Potentials within that. Some of you may be dealing with doctors and children as well. You get two cards here again. So you have the Magician and the Nine of Swords. For some of you in regard to doctors and children, I would say not to, it's almost like calming your mind just because it feels like you're worried. The King of Swords and the Magician, if they are talking about physicians, and I'm not referring to surgery, but like doctors, children see doctors all the time. It's potentially, you might be dealing with like therapy that is not known to you or you don't understand it. I would educate yourself about it a little bit more than worry about it, especially when it comes to alternative medicine as well, okay? Now, that's just particular messages. That's what I have to say. These readings will go on and the messages will change, but I have to speak of certain things when they come through. So I just do that. I know not everybody here has kids. I know not everybody is going to the doctor. Show me more for Gemini, please. You have the King of Cups here, water sign energy. Scorpio, Cancer, Piscean energy. One more for Gemini, please. One more for Gemini. No. So you get three more. You have the Ten of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. The Chariot at the bottom of the deck. So overall, for what I'm feeling here for you guys, I know I may have thrown you off with children and with doctors. Now, to let that energy go, we're going to move into a different energy within these readings, okay? So some of you may be looking at an offer that you need to be very wise about in your decision making. I would say if you're dealing with somebody that either is not giving you the full information, there's some distance between you, there's detachment, it's almost like trusting that offer to come through and it's worrying you. It feels like somebody is ready to move forward though, so it might behoove you to be on the same page, but for some reason you're very worried about this. Whomever this is for. You have the King of Cups, the Ten of Swords. So the King of Cups is often somebody who can be very loving, they're genuine, they want to help you, they are very open to connection. Sometimes they don't wear their heart on their sleeves, but they are open, they're nurturers. Coming with the Ten of Swords, it's essentially telling me that you have support here, especially in situations that have caused you to have problems, mistrust situations, disconnections with people. I'm feeling with the Nine of Swords moving to the Ten of Swords, it's like an ending is over with somebody, and it feels like while that ending may be over, you have the potential to communicate with somebody here. You've got the King of Swords, you've got the Magician, you've got the King of Cups, you have the Queen of Wands here, okay? And the Page of Pentacles. I'm not really seeing that. I mean, It could be a person, but if it were a person, they'd be very, very young, a child. But with the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands here, it's like it's almost as if you have like this getting over a hurdle before you get to that person, or getting over a problematic situation that has kind of left you gutted here, and then you move towards somebody that's actually very connected with you. I like the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands. They together, I don't know, it's interesting. Like, you think of water and fire. What does that do? It boils water, you know, and sometimes water can put out a fire. But when they're working together, they get steamy, steam heat. It's like, you know, it takes a while to get somebody to the perfect boil, you know, and that's not in a bad way. But what it feels like here is getting over something that has been very worrisome in regard to starting up again, starting anew. The Eight of Wands at the end of this reading here, these cards, this basically talks about connection, communication. It can talk about travel, paperwork. It's a card of travel. It's a card of communication. It's a card of action, making things happen. Now, I'm kind of curious why the Ten of Swords is sandwiched between the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups, and why we're so worried about the Magician, you know? Actually, I'm concerned about all of this reading. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify here. Show me the Page of Pentacles. So you have the Two of Wands here for the Page of Pentacles, and you have another card that flipped over. Two of Wands for the Page of Pentacles, and you have the King of Cups again in this reading. King of Cups is here. Okay. So you may have had discord with a water sign. That's a potential. You may, and it's not just a partner, you may just have a water sign in your life that you don't like, or whatever it is. But the Two of Wands is essentially talking about decisions, directions, knowing which direction you want to go in. The Page of Pentacles can be a new opportunity. It can be the offer of a new potential. It can be the offer for a new job. It can be a earth sign child or a child. It's also a card of study, learning what you need to know to get to where you need to be. But overall, what I'm feeling here is like there may be opportunity between two people, possibly three, in regard to the direction that you want to go in, who you want to be with, what you want to do. King of Cups is presented here heavily. So there may be an offer coming from a water sign, or you know, it leaves you kind of off kilter, and it feels like you might be using a lot of rigid thinking is what comes through immediately. But it's more like a, I don't know, a reserved energy, a very scrutinous, is that a word? Scrutinizing. I like scrutinous. You have the Page of Wands here with this person. So the Page of Wands is essentially a card of communication. It's somebody who is, they're lovely to talk to. They have the gift of gab. It's also somebody who is wanting to go in a new direction with you, new potentials. And it feels like you may be like judging the situation or judging the person a bit much, maybe harshly as well, Gemini. But it feels like communication needs to happen. It also, if you're doing a parental situation, it could be if you and like an ex have separated, but you have a child together, there may be a connection like where you have to communicate with your partner's partner, or it's not something that you want to do, but you kind of have to do for the sake of the child. That kind of energy too. Like I said, I have to call it and say it where I see it. If something's happening, I have to say it. I'm not just going to say this card means this card and that's that and that's that. Like, no, that's not how I read. If you need that, there are a lot of readers that do that. Show me the Magician here. So you have the Fool with the Magician. So the Fool indicates a new beginning, but it's a new beginning that happens when we have digested what we've been experiencing in the past. The Magician and the Fool clarifying the Magician. It's knowing when to go. It's knowing when to feel like you are ready for something new. It's feeling empowered and emboldened to do what you want to do. And it feels like you're ready to do that, but then there's a lot of worry. You're ready to do that, and then there's worry. So why the Nine of Swords? Okay. For real. Like, let's drop it 10 times, right? Why the Nine of Swords? Well, for the Nine of Swords, you have the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups coming in here. So this is basically dealing with a love connection. And I feel like you're worried about moving toward it. You may have an option between two people. You may have an option between just one. But like there's something here where you're heavily worried about like the outcome, the happiness, the stability, the emotional connection. Like that's a concern to you. I don't know if you're dealing with somebody where there's a new offer from an old person. That might be a situation as well. Could be a water sign. Show me the King of Cups here for Gemini. So you have the 7 of Pentacles here for the King of Cups. Now that's options, potentials, decision making. It's weighing out what you want to deal with, what you want to do. Is giving to somebody healthy? Do they reciprocate? Is giving to somebody like over giving? You know, where's that connection? It's a card of evaluation. It's a card of knowing where to direct your funding, your money, direct your energy. It's looking at what you've already poured into a situation and knowing when to back off or to continue giving to it. And you have the Star. I do want to say you have the Star at the bottom of the deck too, which is a card of trusting your intuition, which can be very difficult if you're confused or your mind is spinning because you don't trust somebody, you don't trust yourself, or you don't trust the situation, or you're just worried in general that you're never going to find love or whatever. It feels like you might be proven wrong. Maybe it feels like there is love here for you, Gemini. It feels like there is connection here for you. May not be with the same person. It may be with the same person. But what I'm feeling here is like you're moving towards the potential for something really good and you're worried shitless about it. Show me the 10 of Swords here. Show me the 10 of Swords for Gemini. So for the 10 of Swords, you have the 10 of Swords coming out. Okay. So while that can be a little bit scary for folks, it's not scary, I assure you. What it means is, and for it to clarify itself, the 10 of Swords for the 10 of Swords, it's basically talking about an ending. It's talking about a ending and severing of ways, of ties, of bonds, of connections. It's a card where we typically have been disregarded. There's been a fair amount of, you know, problems within a situation, but those have ended. Now, it may be that you are ending that or have ended that with somebody and you're feeling yourself, you're feeling your power and you're ready to move on. It also could be the potential that this person wants to have a second chance with you. And there may be a situation where it's like, you know, I may end it with you, but I feel like you may have the potential to end something with somebody. You've ended something with somebody. There's a potential for it to come back again, but there's also this worry. Okay, that's like really deep. So it's like, fuck, I'm worried about being with you or not being with you. And then I'm also worried about actually finding and attaining happiness, finding connection with somebody that is for me. But damn this, I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it fine. Like that's what it feels like. With the Queen of Swords here, I hope that this is your energy. It could be a fire sign that you're connecting with. But I feel like after this type of turmoil here, it feels like you're moving forward in a different way. I'm going to do a little bit more clarifying between some of the signs or the court cards. Show me the Queen of Wands here for Gemini. Show me the Queen of Wands for Gemini. So you have, for the Queen of Wands, you have the Queen of Cups and you have the Three of Cups, okay? So the Queen of Cups often actually can come out as the Queen of Wands. Very interesting energy as far as the intuition and connection to the occult is concerned, the nurturing aspect in a way. But they can also be very different. They're also noted as very beautiful energies, very beautiful people, very enticing, attractive connection. With the Three of Cups, though, it's interesting because a lot of people see that card as automatically like third-party situation. It's not always that, you know. It can be a card where we are coming together with people who feel good to us. It's like being on the same page with folks, being around family and friends, going out to tea, going out to dinner, drinks. This may also be a time where you are separating with somebody and you're needing to connect with people that you love and who care about you. Some of you, a situation ended a while ago and it's like you had the opportunity to move forward with somebody and it brought you a lot of anxiety because it almost felt like this or never, now or never. But don't forget that you also have potential elsewhere. You have also potentials and situations coming into your life. This person is not the end all be all. There's more coming to you, I feel, most definitely, but just feel like you have to be patient. Don't paint it black. Show me the Eight of Wands. Show me the Eight of Wands for Gemini. So for the Eight of Wands, God, this card, you have the Ace of Cups coming out here. This is what I'm talking about. I feel like there is a lot of potential for connection here. Love, sweet romance, healthier romance. It may be with somebody from the past that you, and this is where it gets sticky because I can't tell you yes or no. These are general readings. You have to piece it together how it works for you. What I'm feeling here is that some of you, not all of you, some of you may have somebody coming back from the past here. King of Cups energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. And you have to evaluate that situation. Them coming into your life brings reserve, but it also brings a fair amount of fear. Some of you, I think that you're tired of that energy. You're tired of that energy and you're done with it, but you also worry that you're not going to experience love with anybody else. Patience, it's coming. Patience, it's coming. Show me the King of Cups here. So the Nine of Cups with the King of Cups. This energy indicates where we are emotionally satisfied, where we're happy with somebody, where we love somebody and we're connected. It's a card of being emotionally connected. It's a card of trusting your partner, feeling like you're on the same page, knowing that you can go to them and be yourself. It's a card of satisfaction in a lot of ways, and it often talks about emotional satisfaction and connection to others. Now, this person may be seeing you like that. You may be seeing them like that. I do want to say, though, some aspect of this feels like somebody's at least being conscious of codependent energy. That's what I want to say, which may be why somebody's worried here about, well, if I don't take this connection with this person, will I ever get a connection with anybody? Yes, you will. Yes, you will. But if you know something's not healthy, you need to let it go. Show me the Magician and the Fool. Show me the Magician and the Fool. Show me the Magician and the Fool. The Three of Cups. Okay. So the Three of Cups is an energy of, you have it over here as well. Like I said, it's a card of connection, being in love with people that you love, being satisfied in situations, seeing eye to eye with people, going out to have drinks, partying. It can talk about third-party situations. Again, I don't necessarily feel like that's the case. I mean, it might be somebody trying to resurrect something after there was a third-party situation. You have a lot of people here as well. You do have the King of Swords. You've got the King of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups. You have the Magician here. King of Cups twice. Somebody may have had options in the past. I will throw that out there because some of these cards do indicate that. However, the storyline itself does not feel that way to me. Just because it doesn't feel that way to me doesn't mean it didn't happen for you. This is, again, a general reading. There are literally thousands of people watching these readings, so I cannot say this is for you and only you. Like, it just doesn't work that way. Show me the Ten of Cups here and the Nine of Swords. Why is the Nine of Swords here with the Ten of Cups? So you have the Three of Wands coming out sideways. So the Three of Wands is about direction. It's about patience, knowing what you're involved in, having the patience to let it come. Here in sideways mode, it's like not trusting that things that you want in your life are coming. It's that worry. Oh my God, will I find my partner? Will I find a suitable partner? Does anybody think I'm attractive? Do I feel attractive? Like, you know, can I do it again? Like, it's that kind of energy. It's almost as if like somebody, I feel, is like painting it black or like throwing in the towel before that's necessary. Like, have patience. It's coming. You have the Ten of Swords in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. Ten of Swords, Ten of Swords, Ten of Swords in reverse. This energy is dissipating, you know. It's just things have to come to a close, and that's hard for people sometimes. Show me the King of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles here. So you have the Eight of Cups popping out. This is a card of walking away, moving away. It's a card of regret. This could also be somebody from the past having a fair amount of regret, knowing that they walked away and now they may be back. You do have the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This card indicates wanting to work together. But it's a card of also moving away from something or somebody. That person may have left. Could have been a Pisces or a Cancer. The moon, though, talks about emotional disruption. It talks about emotional confusion in regard to the direction that you want to go in. You may have somebody that is sad about what they've caused in your life. They may have walked away from you. And if they are coming back, it may feel like their offer is not enough, or the beginning, the potential for a beginning is not enough. But that's going to be up to you. Because it feels like you have more coming. Show me the Ten of Swords with the Ten of Swords here. Show me the Ten of Swords with the Ten of Swords. So you have the Five of Pentacles coming out in reverse here for the Ten of Swords. The Five of Pentacles in reverse is, I like that card. It's a card of releasing problems. It's a card of, you know, if you've been in a state of lack, if you've been not trusting yourself, not trusting connections, if you haven't had enough money, like whatever it may be that you've been lacking, it's switching that around. It's changing it up so that you can actually have more abundance in your life. Sometimes it's also letting go of the feeling of being cast away or pushed aside. Sometimes it's somebody coming back into your life. They want to come back out of the cold. They want to come back to you if there's been problems between the two of you. Possibly for equal give and take this time. And I feel like it's got somebody in their head. Show me the Queen of Wands with the Queen of Cups. Show me the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups with the Three of Cups. So you have the Four of Wands here. This is about connection, community. It's about, like I said, community. You may need to connect with people that love you, connect with your friends. It's also a situation where we are dealing with the stability of our lives, our families, our homes. It's a card of dating. It's a card of feeling good. It's a card of kind of feeling like you're on top of the world with happy changes in your life that reflect in your home. Again, you have this Ten of Swords coming out in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So it's indicating that there is a fair amount of disruption and pain that has decreased. It's over now. Somebody may want to come through that or come toward you from that area, that energy. We shall see. Show me the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Show me the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Cups here from Gemini. So you have the Eight of Swords here with the Ace of Wands, or the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Now the Eight of Swords is a card where we're in our mind, where we are not certain about what it is that somebody's telling us. We're not certain about what we should believe. It's confusing. The Eight of Swords indicates an energy where we just don't know what to believe in. It's just constant cycling in the mind. It's kind of like that Nine of Swords. And it's interesting. You have the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Swords coming up multiple times in your reading. It's a progression, but it's also a progression that if you know how somebody is in the past, if you know that things aren't changing, you know, you may have connection and communication and there may be healing with somebody, but it's not necessarily indicating that you should necessarily go back with somebody. I feel like somebody here wants to, somebody's gung-ho about it, but then like another person's like, I'll communicate with you, I'll talk with you, we can see this for what it is, and I don't bear you ill will, but like, oh my God, this reading, you guys. No. Please give me advice for Gemini. Please give me advice for Gemini. You have the Four of Cups, and at the bottom of the deck you have the Six of Cups. So what this indicates, you guys, is that if somebody comes back from your past with the Six of Cups, okay, there's going to be a fair amount of contemplation here, but overall it feels like you may end up not going with them. It's kind of like just not accepting the offer, not accepting what this person is trying to gear up for. I don't know. I feel like some of you, it's too little too late. I feel like some of you, it's like, the offer isn't enough. And I feel some of you are just like, I am done. I'm tired. I have better connections. And it feels like the connections that you get into are probably more so going to be like friend related friends. I'm not seeing like running into the sunset with somebody new. I mean, it could happen, but like, it feels like you're going to be connecting with people that you love and care about. So, go ahead and pull one of these guys. Show me for Gemini, please. So you have demonstrate love. Find out what is important to those you love and act on it. And it came out in reverse. Okay. Some of you, I feel like you may not be demonstrating love here with somebody. Some of you, I feel that you're worried too that you may not get something in the future or may not end up with somebody in the future. I feel if you do end up with somebody in the future, it's going to be somebody who is a lot easier to deal with. Somebody that you're not going to be constantly worried about. So with that being said, Gemini, I hope that this reading was helpful. I'm going to close it down here. If you felt that this was, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you choose to donate, there is a link in the description box below. And I will be back for the second reading in a couple of weeks in February. All right, take care, you guys. Bye-bye.